All
right.
Hi,
Hi,
Mr.
everybody.
Jaime. How
Welcome. Welcome back to Conversations in Agave after our break that we took in July. Really excited to start off the program for the month of August with Javi and Jaime Mateo Tirado, who are the producers, owners, family behind the Mezcal brand Los Javis and also other Mezcal that's out in the market. It's been a pleasure to get to know them over the years as they've participated in Mexico in a Bottle. And for the longest time, I never even knew that I was drinking your mezcal whenever I would be at Guelaguetza and they were using it in the house cocktails. But we did a little survey in July to get a sense from our audience as to who they wanted to hear from in these talks. And overwhelmingly, they were like producers, producers, producers. And so I was like, I know exactly who I need to reach out to. And, you know, you guys have such a great history and business model when it comes to, you know, being a family-owned brand in the marketplace and how you have built over time this really vertical business model where you're able to control all facets of your brand and mezcal. So with that said, I'll say that Javi, is on the ground in Mazatlan, and he's the one who runs all of the operations there and oversees the mezcal production, etc. And Jaime is based in the United States, and he is completely in charge of the brand Los Javis and getting it placed into the market, doing the sales calls, all of that. So those are the kind of the roles that the two brothers play. And I'm just kind of, you know, like Javier, why don't you get us started and talk a little bit about your family background in mezcal production?
Well, yes. Hi, my name is Javier. I know you can see me on the screen. My name is Javier Mateo. I'm one of the production manager right now of the Mezcal Los Javis. And we named it Los Javis after my dad's name is Javier and my son is Javier. So we had to call the short name of Los Javis. And we are family on this. I mean, we own this company and this brand. And we produce mezcal, I don't know, since 1952, I think my grandfather, and just we have the knowledge from the grandfather and my father. When I took this company to run this company, I have experience, previous experience in wineries, in restaurants, and just uh, be able to make some changes on the taste. So I want to make some perfect mezcal. I like to make the mezcal the way I love to drink it. So that's all I can say for the beginning. And we born and raised in Mazatlan, but I spent some time in the United States too. I mean, that's where I learned so much stuff to bring in the company. That's what we try. That's what we know we're gonna get successful, and that was the make us the ability to take care of all the chain on this industry. We make them the agave. We grow in agave. We produce the mezcal. We have own brand, and we take the mezcal to the distributors, to the retail. We can check. We can have the control of the whole chain
Whole
of
system. Yeah, the whole system operation.
operation system.
Yep. Well, I know that Jaime, both of you spent time living abroad in the United States, and Javier also in Europe, and you were very influenced by how you saw businesses operating in the United States, and you kind of took that back with you in thinking about how to structure the business. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yes. First of all, we need to understand how is the business in other countries, not in Mexico. So how the laws, the rules. It's important to follow the rules. Well, I assume my brothers know all the system of alcohol sales system here in United States. We find the license and all permits to have before we looking for a distribution company or importation company, but in 2005, 2006, 2007, nobody, nobody know what is mezcal, or this people didn't believe in the mezcal. So is
It
the
was,
reason we,
was very hard to find a distribution and importer license to bring the mezcal into the United States under law. So we had so hard and difficult because, like Jaime says, nobody understands what mezcal was. Nobody knows what the mezcal was. Mezcal exists from centuries, from many years ago, but we haven't taken it to this level of the how do you say this, on business level.
yeah.
That's we take it.
But yeah, but when we say, my brother and me, okay, we don't need to convince to people to introduce the mezcal to the United States. We can do that. We can do that. If the one sentence saying in Spanish, si si uno no, si Mahoma no va a la montaña va Mahoma. So that means if nobody believes, it's okay. We can do that. It's nothing stop us. We never stop. Nothing. Just we need to know what we need for do that. So my brother start to looking for the all how to say all regulation or that things, because yeah, as soon we find that we into the mezcal to United States, but other simple presentation, but quality was the important. Quality all the time is important. So the presentation was simple. We don't have marketing plan, but for us the most important with the mezcal is going to be in United States. As soon do that, I'm learning how can
I can show, I can explain a little bit what Jaime says. When with the beginning, we have this presentation, which is doesn't count. It's not a good bottle. For us, was a bottle that was were we able to found it, but the quality inside was the gold, was the liquid, what we love it. So the inside, when people taste the mezcal, that's when they start falling in love with mezcal. But not when they see the bottle. So we have to go and knock the doors and go by hand of the owners, the brand, the restaurant owners and bar managers to taste the liquid, so we can convince people that we have some product really good. So after that, we change it to that presentation that we have it right now, and that's why it's more easy to sell it and more easy to show and more easy to people can get more attractive or bottles and drink our mezcal.
Well, you put a lot of thought into the shape of that bottle, and why the bottle is the shape that it is, and that was based on experiences behind the bar, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, the bottle. I was the one that designed the bottle because I know what bartenders need in a bottle of any booze in the world. So this bottle, I can bring it out back. This bottle for me, it's a perfect size. It's not too high. You can handle quickly if you are a busy night. It's very good to handle. It's heart shape, and also it's not round bottle and has something like a diamond. So if you knock something with the bar, it doesn't break it easy. So it fits on the well, and also you can see a different color on different angle of the bar. So you don't see of the bottle. You don't see the same thing in every angle of the bottle. So for some bars in some countries, they allow to smoke. In Mexico, some of them, in the United States, most of them they're not allowed to smoke. But places where I used to be allowed to smoke, we have this one as like an ashtray. So you finish the bottle, you put them upside down, and you have your ashtray right here, so people can smoke and put your ashtray. And also they have I don't know, it fits on the shelves. It fits on the right there. It's not too tall. I mean, it's so many things. The bartender love it from this bottle. Whoever is a bartender understand what it needs from a bottle.
So many details. So we show many things in the bottle. So art, craft, information, authenticity. Our bottle is our bottle. Is nobody can have this. No other brands can have this bottle. It's made just for us, for Los Javis. because los Javis are different. If we are different, we need to be show we are different, right? It's los Javis jump ¿cómo se dice obstáculos in English? Like
How do you say what?
obstáculos,
Hurdles. You
yeah,
had to jump a lot of hurdles.
yeah.
Uh,
But these things for us is learning things, right? It's not be scared for anything. So is the reason we are in the many markets, not just in United States, learning things. The quality for me was important in the beginning it's all the time, but in the beginning to convince to the bartenders, to the service, to the owner of the restaurant, some liquor store, not too much because when we start and our bottle was for no liquor store because was simple one. But as soon I'm drinking and bartenders drink our mezcal, it was not difficult to convince, right? This is help a lot to when we start.
It's, for me, sometimes, I always get the question, what's your favorite mezcal? It's an impossible thing to answer. And I always talk about how, sometimes I'm really looking for a mezcal I want to drink all night, which, I love complex mezcals, but I can't drink them all night because the flavor, like, it's too much. It's a little overwhelming. And the thing that I've always loved about Los Javis is that it is one of those, unfortunately, mezcals I can drink all night, as Sergio can attest to from different Mexicoana bottles. But he's always gotten me into trouble. But I mean, I think that, your guys' story is so interesting because, the people here in the United States always want to know about, what are Mexican-owned brands? And I'm always like, well, the question isn't just what is a Mexican-owned brand or what is a Oaxacan-owned brand. It's what is a producer-owned brand or a family-owned brand. And once you start having those conversations, the number of those types of brands on the market are very small. It's a limited number. And when you guys, you approach this as a business, and I think sometimes we live in this very idealistic world in the United States where we want to think that, oh, all of these so small producers, they're just so nice, they're making mezcal, and we completely overlook the business knowledge and know-how that goes into what it is you guys are doing. And and it's very I think because you studied business, right, Jaime, in the United States?
No, not really. I'm an electrical engineer in Mexico. I'm finished my career.
Okay.
I was working for telecommunication company. So before I didn't know what is the sales, but Javier have experience in sales and that things because he was bartender here in United States and service. So he teach me a lot of things to sales, but before didn't sales anything. So, but when you have passion for what you sell and you know what you sell exactly, it's easy to sell. But sometimes I have no speech. So if you ask me, I have the answers, but I have no speech to tell. But all the answers I have in my head, right? Because I was making mezcal, or I make mezcal for all the time, and something is the student when I be an engineer, I learning things to understand things. I say, okay, this is why it is this, why, all the time is why. And this is when Javi and me created this recipe, Los Javis. Okay, we need to, that details, we need to, this profile, not over the smoke because it's we think this is good balance for us to drink to this mezcal juice in this bottle is something like Javier and me drinking with my friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
All the
Yeah.
time. This is the
Yeah.
important things. This is our profile. What is our what are we drinking? So when I say cheers with my mezcal or los Javis mezcal, is something is because this is I want this. I want drink this. I
Well,
need
the
put
reason also in the production part, the what you talking, Jaime, it's when I had experience in changed flavors and managed flavors on the wines, I was able to make a mezcal the way we love to drink it. The mezcal that
Mm-hmm.
the Jaime and I drinking all the time at home is this mezcal that we put him in the bottle and give it to the world because we know everybody in the world deserves to drink mezcal, and we make the mezcal exactly as we like to drink and not too strong in flavors, but it's kind of like on the sweet side. It's very soft. It has to have all the agave flavors, not too smoky because the smokiness is a defect versus it's not something that has to be in the mezcal. It's a defect, but mezcal has it take it as a difference than other drink, than other booze, than other spirits.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're using the smoke very very soft, very very light smoky. And like you say, Susan, you can drink this bottle, this mezcal, all night long. You can have one shot, two shots. After three shots, it doesn't count how many you want to have it. But also we have like a wild agaves. We have all this other expression, other varieties of agaves. Because I trade the mezcal like a red wine, so like a wines. You can have a grapes on the wine that is too strong. The only you can drink one glass with your red meat, something heavy. But if you have something like Pinot Grigio, you can drink it with a small piece of cheese all night long. You can drink 3 bottles and no problem. You can keep going, keep drinking. So we have some expressions in Los Javis that you can have only one shot because it's not reason to have so much of the other kind of mezcal. It's not enjoyable. Unite. So you only can have one and that's it. So but Los Javis Blue, the Espadin, you can have it like like a water. It's for me,
Yeah.
it's my water. Like a hairbrush in the podcast, the water. So for me, my water is Mezcal Espadin. So I drink it all the time on a daily basis in everything, my meetings and my meals.
So
And it's like a tradition. I drink mezcal, but also I drink it for fun.
it's true. We had a question from Patricia in the audience about Tepestate, and we're going to talk a little bit more about agaves when we get to your production process. But for people out in the audience who aren't fully familiar or are new to mezcal, there are several different types of agaves that you can make mezcal from. And in Oaxaca, the espadín is kind of the workhorse of the agaves used in mezcal production. It's because it is very easy to cultivate. It has a flavor profile that changes depending on where it's grown, what altitude, water, all of that. So it's while it's the workhorse, no one espadín tastes like another. And then you have your wild agaves like a tepestate or a mardoquiche or a tobala. Those are rarer mezcal, rarer, hard to say that, and agaves, and there's a limited number of them. And so the prices on those types of mezcals made from wild agaves are higher because they are a more limited resource, and should be that way. And I kind of agree. Like I love tepestate, but it's not something that I think I could drink all night long. Much like, whereas with the espadín I can. But I mean, this brings up an interesting point because, you guys produce obviously your own brand, Los Javes, but then you also produce mezcal for other people. How do you develop different flavor profiles? Because it is deliberate on your part so that the mezcals don't taste alike. So, Javier, do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yes, of course, yeah, definitely. We have this conversation for Mezcal Los Javis, which is the brand that we represent all the time and 100%. But also, I can give you an analogy for this. I can compare if I'm a restaurant, if this palenque or this company is a restaurant, and I'm the chef because I'm like the chef for now. I'm the producer guy. I'm the one manage the production part. So I'm the chef, and I have a menu. In my menu, I have a four different dishes. I have a four different kind of pastas, but all four pastas I love it because I'm creative and the way I love to make it. But also the customer, the guests, they're gonna choose one of those four pastas. The four pastas I made in my kitchen, probably with the same ingredients, but I put a different details. I mean, I put some details. I put in some pastas. I put arrabbiata sauce, very spicy. Another mild. Another I put some oregano, and another one put some balsamic vinegar, and all four pastas taste way different. Even if it made in my same kitchen, my same utensils, with the same sauces, but I changed a little bit of details. Same with the mezcal production. I have a for los Javis, I have a different recipe than other brand that I produce for other guy, which is I only change it sometimes the weather, the agave for Los Javis I bring them from the valley of Oaxaca, from other brands I bring them from the hills. It's gonna be a different flavor because I bring the agave from two different places. I don't know what I can say. So all the mezcals that I make it, I love it. But
Yeah.
you have to choose the right one you want to buy it. So in Los Javis, I always select the mezcal that I want to put in Los Javis, and other customers they deserve a good quality. All of them are good quality, but all of them they have like in the food. Some of them I put some salt, and another one I put some spicy. So you're gonna have two pastas or two sauces, but with two different flavors. That's the
Mhm.
way to change the details.
Which, I mean, which is a challenge in making mezcal because you're only working with four ingredients, which is basically the agave, the water, the air, and the maker's hands.
Mm,
It's not like you can be adding in, aside from a pechuga, like different spices or things like that, unless you're doing like a pechuga or avocado. And so the skill comes in say how you're roasting, how you're fermenting, where the agave is coming from, where you take your cuts in the distillation process, etc.
yeah,
So
those are
it's
steps.
so
Those are the
simple, simple in terms of four ingredients, but very complicated in how you are able to pull flavor out of what it is you're doing. It's one of the things when I visited you, gosh, was it a couple years ago, for that crazy unannounced stop? I was totally blown away by your whole employee process that you had going in terms of who was working where, the efficiency, the bottling part of it. And I know that you guys, that was something else that you were influenced by in working outside of Mexico, where was the business structure when it came to employees, and how you set that up. Um, and do you want to, Jaime, you want to address that a little bit in terms of your employee practices?
Yeah, but about our distillery, Javi, we when we create our or we have the structure of distillery, uh, we're looking for people need to work, right? The people appreciate to work. The people want to learn, and we support of the people, and most our workers is like our family, not the blood family. It's like family, like the field family. So the soul family. So it's the reason our quality is always all the time is never lose the quality. Uh, all the employees work like passion with us. Uh, Javier Javier and my mom choose the right people to work with us, right, Javier? Oh, sorry, it's sorry, but yeah, and yeah, this is important for us to the people believe in us. The people, our team believe in us. Is feel part of this dream, Los Javis, right? So we teach the people it's nothing impossible, right? Maybe 15 years ago, most most people didn't believe what's going on Los Javis, but us, Javier and me, we believe in that dream. It's the reason we put all the power in mezcal, right? All our time, and we dedicate to the mezcal because we didn't we know, Javier and me want to be what we know exactly what happened with the mezcal, because say, hey, one day the mezcal going to be in in more than 1,000 accounts, and one day the people want to appreciate the mezcal, want to understand what is the mezcal. So, and we create the trips to our distillery. So when the customer going to our distillery see that this is a real history, it's not like fake history. It's like, okay, the thing you say is true. It's you have a you have a people we work with passion in your distillery. And Javier, my mom, look like the same. It's not like it's no difference in between. And my mom be like la patrona and all everybody. No, it's a team. This is a team. This is the most important. Yeah, it's a team. So I think this is other good team Los Javis has.
Yep, because you have hired a lot of single moms to work at the distillery.
Yeah, this is my mom say when she was a kid, she is she saw a lot of single moms. So the, the people didn't bring opportunity because say you have a kid, maybe you don't have time to focus in the job. But it's not true. They need they she need the job, she need the money, and as soon they take care they take care of his job, right? And we are so flexible, and it's the reason this for us working. It's in Spanish is somos incluyentes. We
Mm-hmm.
it's this is something we learn when Javier and me and my family work. Like I'm working in United States too, and it's no discrimination to nobody. And when you appreciate that to your workers, they never forget. They defend to you when something happened. They put in Spanish. Ellos se ponen la camiseta. Like I don't know. There's one idiom in English, but yeah, they feel part. They feel part of the team.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, and also too, you were one of the early palenques to provide employees with sick leave, with vacation pay, with things like that. That's for people who don't understand um, employment laws in Mexico, like those are not guaranteed things that you get as an employee. So that's
I hope that changes. I hope that is going to change. We need to put the sample. We need to say, okay, because
Yeah, but
before I was,
the thing is that we learned that the rules in United States exactly. When I
mhm.
was working in a company, when I was employee, I have all these benefits. I have a vacation pay. I have I don't know, a lot of stuff, a lot of things.
yeah,
I got guaranteed.
sick days,
So I bring all
401k.
these. I get all this acknowledged and applied to my company, and I keep the people happy all the time, and they stay longer because they get training. First of all, when they start working here, they have a training week. They have I don't know, something like they have to read the manual, how to work in the company. They have to understand what is our mission, what we're gonna be here for, and they got vacation. They have all these benefits. So everything that the people can be happy. Also, they have to wear a uniform. A uniform is very important. People who touch the liquid when they put it in the bottle, specifically in the bottle in place, they need to wear a mask and the gloves. Always, not just now. This is always. And unfortunately, we're not working right now there. It's not a shift. It's not the hours to work, so I can show you, but I can show you some videos later where you can see all this stuff. Because we just follow the rules. For us, it's important to follow the rules to become successful. That's why one of the missions of the company is. Also, we are under. I think you have another question right there under CRM. They're regulated the CRM. Regulated by this industry. It's not just something that we make it because we want to make it something like that. Of course, we have a passion to make mezcal, but also we follow the rules. We follow we follow what we need to use and all the type of utensils. We are in the category of mezcal artisanal, handcrafted, craft mezcal. So we cannot have big machines in the palenque. We have to follow the rules, how the way is make mezcal forever. So the same way we're gonna keep it. We're gonna keep the same recipe because it matters to change the flavor. If you change in the oven, by example, if you change the oven from the wood and the pit to industrial oven, you're gonna lose the flavor. You destroy the quality. We have to use tahona. You see in the palenque, we need to use the tahona because it's the way that the agave has to be smashed. It's when you make a sauce. We use it in Oaxaca, the molcajete, is the saucer to make the sauce by hand. If you're using a blender machine, the sauce tastes way different. That's what they make the differences in the flavor. We keep the cooper pots of 300 liters cooper pots to distill it. I know we can use in a 3,000 liter pot, but you can distill it at once in 3,500, no, 3,000 liters in one day, but it's not good quality anymore. You change
the quality going to change. Yeah.
So we have, instead of that, we're going to put more pots all the time. If we're growing, we're going to add more pots, but we're going to keep always the same recipe all the time. So quality, when I control the quality, and that way we have our own agaves. So mostly, I mean, we buy 30% only, but we try to buy the best quality. If the agave, when we're going to buy agave, it's not ripe enough, of course, we don't buy it. If we buy it and it's not ripe enough, we don't harvest it. We keep it in the ground until it be the right time to be harvested. So, because it's a quality change.
I mean, I think that that's something that's really important as we've seen the fluctuation in the agave market on pricing is the ability to have your own fields and to be able to grow your own agave. And so you have multiple areas where you grow agave or get agave. So from the mountains to the Valle Centrale around you.
The valleys, Fido mountains, different microclimates we have too.
Yep. How do you grow your espadín? Are you using mostly hijuelo or a mix of seed and hijuelo and other things, or
mostly from the quiote, which is from the kind of type of the seeds from the quiote.
Okay.
You let the quiote growing. Once the quiote get the flowers up on the hill, up on the top of the quiote, you get the babies. Those are the best quality for agave. They're growing fast and bigger. Hijuelos in our town, in our weather, in the microclimate, the hijuelos, it takes more time and doesn't grow bigger. So it's growing small for the experience that we have it. So my grandfather and my dad, they always rather to plant it agave from the seeds, from the quiote. That's what we call it, the seed from the agave. We don't use it so much hijuelos.
Yep. And then are you experimenting in growing wild agave?
Yes, well, we failed. Not fail like 100%.
It's hard.
We have those agaves. We're still taking care. It takes so much time. It's hard to keep it. I mean, we say the truth. We have a tovala. We have some tepestates, but doesn't grow up like they're growing in the wild, in the natural
And yeah, it's his habitat, in his habitat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a because our most of our land is similar to valley. The tepestate, for example, they need to grow in a high altitude. It's his habitat. So the Tobalá too. Everybody is in. I think this agave is not domesticated, right? And
Yeah.
the most important, we need to keep the agave in his habitat. And don't abuse to these agaves. Don't produce too much. Yeah, our production for guayabo agave is just limit edition. If it's gone, it's gone. I know this is business, but if we abuse that agave because we make more money, we're going to destroy that is agaves, or we're going to disappear that agaves. Right? Is the reason our espadín is our key uh, our key product is a make money. It's a money maker because. But it's, you say okay because it's easy to plant espadín. It's not easy to plant espadín. Take 9 to 12 years. You need. My grandfather, my dad start to plant agave. It's not like, oh, we start planting agave 15 years ago. No, it's 40, 60 years ago. Now we put uh, more money in the fields. We invest in the fields to plant more agave, but we start invest more 15 years ago. Now is we harvest like 4 years ago, and in all money we invest in the fields.
Mm-hmm.
30 or 40% our money, and and it's because plant agave is a lot of, if it's organic agave is a lot of work because it's every time everything is like by hand. Or we have tractor because it's our when we plant agave we can use tractor because our land is most valleys, but we clean by hands, not by
Yeah.
machines.
Yeah. That is. And Javi has been giving us this tour of the Palenque, and he walked over the fermentation tanks, and we were able to see that there was stuff fermenting in there. And then with your copper stills, I had a question about that. Are you guys? Wow, look at that.
This is the mosto. It
Yep.
smells delicious. That like beer, like
Yeah.
pulque.
Like pulque, exactly.
Yeah.
And then, so when you're distilling, are you guys still using wood in the distillation process, or do you use gas in the distillation process?
Gas
Gas.
propane.
Mhm. And
Yes. Javier going to explain why.
Well,
yeah,
gas has more benefits. Of course, the first benefit is we don't cut any trees anymore. We try to save the trees, the atmosphere, and also it's take a better control on the temperature when we distill it. So we distill it at just one temperature for the whole time, and doesn't go up and down. And the alcohol by volume will gets the right amount that we want to it, and also the flavor of the mezcal. It's so much easy to manage. Instead of we have a wood, sometimes you put wood, they get some explosion of wood that gets so much fire and burn the mezcal and get you a lot of defects in the flavor in the final result of distillation.
oh,
So it's easy, and also it's a little bit more clean. And we
mhm.
don't, or my logs is not. I don't feel like I'm smoking all the time because when they work, you have all the smoke, and you feel like you smoke like a pack of cigarettes a day, which is bad
and,
for you.
No,
and we
We
don't
got to
destroy
take care
the
of the
forest.
employees.
right.
So the
Well,
We
forest
keep
is the most important. That's the main part is the forest. We don't want to destroy it.
no, you're still when you're cooking the agave, you're still doing it in the earthen pit and using wood there, so you can get kind of that roast flavor in the agave,
Well,
right?
unfortunately, that's thing that we cannot avoid. It's
yeah.
something
Hmm.
that we have to make it with that. But we control the wood that we put them into. We go into the places where they sell wood, and it's something that this wood it's already a certificate. You don't use it for furniture. It's something. It's trees. They need to be They need to be cut.
Mhm.
And we don't use it so much. It's very, very small amount. And we mix it with mesquite. We have it in our own fields. My grandfather owns like, I think like 300 acres of,
Wow.
of land where we have a lot of mesquites
Mesquite.
and a lot of trees that we know we don't need it. So we need to clean it to planting agave. And so we cut not the base. We just cut in the
The
pieces
big
of
one.
the trees and bring it here to cook the agave. So
You cut the mesquite. That wood can support 10 years and nothing happen. It's so resistant. So we have a good for, I don't know, 15 years in our warehouse because nothing happened. Yeah, yes, it's just
it
tell
lasts. It
this.
lasts. It lasts longer than any other woods. It's very strong. So you
Mm.
want a piece of that, it lasts for. Even if we have the mesquite already in the facility, and it's been there for 10 years, and we're using just 3 pieces every week. And
Wow.
we're not gonna finish in maybe 8, 9 years of production around here.
Yeah.
So we try to take care of not using
Yeah,
so
we're
much wood.
thinking in that. So we know the problems on the ambience. We are conscious in that. So
You hear me?
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
Hello?
Yes, we can. Did you lose
Hello?
us? We can hear you, Javi.
Are you there?
Yep.
Yeah,
Did you
yeah.
just? Yep. Um, well, I mean,
I
this.
got lost. I got lost for a minute.
I mean, this kind of brings us to, like, since you guys began really developing your business, the world of mezcal exploded. And how have you seen, like, the constantly increasing demand for mezcal kind of
We're waiting. We're waiting for
change
that.
production? Well, I know. Aside from right now,
We can wait for that
if we
now.
could just start
That was
2020
our
over.
dream.
But but with the increased demands, especially Mazatlan, because like it has, it produces, I believe, the town of Mazatlan the most mezcal in Mexico. How has that kind of impacted the town of Mazatlan and mezcal production?
Well, in the last 10 years, I see a lot of changes in Mazatlan. People, right, like the beginning, you say there's not too many people from native Mazatlan own a brand. We are very a few cases. We are very few people, we are few families. But now impacting so much in the young guys, the young generations. People start get interested in mezcal. Everybody wants to make mezcal now. And the good thing, and so many other people in the town, they go to school and learn business and learn how to follow rules. And I hope next 10 years will be like a small city. We can have more schools in the town because we don't have so many schools. That's what the reason why we left this town and went to the United States, because there was in the past no economy. The economy in Mazatlan is growing up a lot. It was growing until this happened. Things happen right now in the world, but before that, we have people have better lifestyle. The economy is better,
Yeah,
and I can say thank you very much for people like you, Susan. And I don't know how many people have been watching this, but you're gonna get this message. This is really something really, really good for us,
Yeah.
for Mexico in general, for the whole country, especially for Oaxaca, Mazatlan. They call Cuna del Mezcal, or
Capital
the
Mundial Mezcal.
world capital
Yep.
of Mezcal.
It's right there on the sign when you come into town. You can't miss it.
It really is, because in Mazatlan is where they making. If you see in the market 600 brands, 400 or 500 of those brands are making in Mazatlan, because Mazatlan was the main town to make mezcal. But thanks for you, people like you, to believe in the products in mezcal in general, and not just Mazatlan. We have other towns around here, very neighbor, and they really all get the benefits. The whole state, whole country, actually. Yeah. Very thank you for that. Thank you
Well,
for people.
yeah, well, you're welcome. It's with total love. I mean, it brings up a question of, as the production has increased so much, how has that impacted, with the vinyasas, water management in the area? I mean, Oaxaca's been in a drought for a while. I'm not sure how the rainy season is going so far, but how is everybody managing resources as the demand has increased?
We have one of the reasons of Mazatlan to make mezcal is because they have the right weather to grow in the agaves. For agaves, we don't use any water to put them into the agave when it's in the field. They get water from the rainy season. Also, we have I don't know, something like enough water to produce the mezcal, but also, yeah, it's very hard, like every other industry. It's hard to preserve the resources. But in our company, at least, we don't waste any water. We have I don't know, when you came here, I think I explained you, we recycle the water.
Mm-hmm.
The water that we use in the distillery and the pots is just to cool down the steam from the distillation. So this water, I can show you from here. We have a tank where we collecting the water. We put it down into the another tank, which is on the ground. It's very dark here right now, but we don't waste it. And also when it rains, we collect the water from the rain. It has a pipe right there, and we collect it. We try to don't waste the water. And I hope everybody, and I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I know some other companies, they also do the same. They don't waste the water. And when we use the water for the production, I bring it from other places that change the flavors. Like sample for Los Javis, I bring water from a place, it's called Calpulalpan. It's up on the hills. It's water from the river.
Yeah, it's a spring water.
Spring water. And there's plenty of water there, but I had to bring it. It cost me a little bit more to bring it from that town to here. And for other brand, we bring them from Mitla, which is another place very near from here.
So
I
this
have
this
enough
is
water, but I have to use in other waters just to change the detail on the flavor.
this is
But
a
also to take care of the sources of Mazatlan.
That's Jaime.
yeah. Yeah, this is like Javier said. This is important to the mezcal profile. When you use a other type of the other water for different place, change the ADN of the mezcal. Is this mezcal making Matatlan, but the water is not from Matatlan. We looking for the water to what we want. So other thing for the mezcal artisanal and organic, like most making, is you can use the fiber to make compost, to make fertilizants for the fields. So everything to the mezcal is recycled. But when you make mezcal, is recycled. It's recycling. It's sustainable, right? Yeah. Because it's not, don't use like chemicals. This is not bad for the ambient. So for us, for Los Javis, like 10 years ago, we are waiting for the mezcal grown up because we was ready. We thinking in the future. We was thinking and plan enough agave because we waiting for that. I know this. With my brother and me thinking this is. I know this is the mezcal in our lives is a culture, but it's business too. This when the business come in your town, make economy. When it is economy in your town, the town is safe because everybody have jobs. It's not it's safe a safe town. The village changed to be beautiful. A lot of tourists going to come. This is was our dream like 10, 15 years ago. So now
yeah, because that's what it really takes for people who wants to be a real mezcalero. It will take it about 8 to 12 years to be stable because this industry, it takes time to grow in the agave. It takes more than 9 years. So you cannot be mezcalero in 1 week. You have to be. It has to be your life. It has to be your culture. It has to be all the things behind you. It's support from families. Sometimes there's no money in your pocket because you have to put all your savings in this industry at the beginning. So it's too hard, but it's also enjoyable.
It's enjoyable.
Yeah. Well,
If,
why would we
if you
do
do
it
that,
if we don't
if no,
like
it is
it?
enjoyable. Yeah, the most important is enjoyable. It's when you think this is all businesses take. If the business take time, all business take. Nothing is that easy, but it's
Yeah,
enjoyable.
it's true.
Difficult don't mean is not enjoyable. Difficult
Right.
mean is enjoyable too.
Well,
Yeah.
if it was easy, then where would be the challenge in it? You know, I feel that way with my own business. Well, I mean, it's an interesting time to ask. You know, as the category has grown so much, as things, it's had a huge impact on changing smaller villages. You know, just the introduction of internet into some of these small towns. You know, it suddenly gives people access to a wider world. So everything is changing. Do you think it's possible for the category to continue growing and not lose its kind of cultural significance in the communities that produce mezcal?
Mm, in my point of view, yes, is growing, but also the mezcal in general. I believe, or I just I see it out of my town. The mezcal has a soul. It has culture.
Yeah.
It has people who made it. It was like they have a history. You drink a bottle of mezcal, you see in the label, there's the name of the producer, the place where it's being produced. Most brands, like my brand, they have a number of the bottle, number of the batch. It's something that involves the community, and it's something that is not gonna get lost because we are an option in the bar. Before we were not an option. We were probably mezcal you know in one time and disappear because they don't continue it. Now we are in the market, we are in the business, we are the big leagues of the business. So we try to continue with the quality. We're not gonna lose this opportunity
And
to stay in the war.
Mm-hmm.
and also this is like part of my job in this company. If something is coming down, it's part of my team in United States, for example, to working hard for the sales going up. It's the successful thing for the mezcal is not is because a lot of hard work is behind on that. It's not like okay, it's now it's mezcal going up. No, it's a lot of maybe some people didn't see that, but my team and I am working 7 days a week, show to the bars and teach and testing, training, testings. It's a lot of work. If now we are ready for, as soon we reopen the bars, we are ready for work hard again. If you don't work hard again, maybe it's come to lose if nobody pay attention again, like in the beginning. Maybe lose, but now I'm happy because all work have,
Hard work.
now have results, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have results.
Oh,
Yeah, other thing. I am engineer. I know Oaxaca very well. So why the mezcal is no industrial? Because we don't have facility, we don't have enough electricity in Oaxaca. Is the reason if you go to Oaxaca, you see a little artisanal people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we don't have like our in Spanish is estructura. I don't want to make a mistake like Peña Nieto. We don't have that things in.
The infrastructure kind of,
That's
exactly.
the
yeah.
word.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have a
Yeah.
good building.
It's hard for me to say that. I don't know why,
Sorry for the
but
English or bad.
this is a joke.
Try
But
to do this.
this is this is going to keep the mezcal most artisanal.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
Until they
we have.
decide to build the infrastructure
No, I
in
don't
order
think so because
to.
the people is Oaxaqueños. We are artisanal, working with hand. Right? It is if you see the tradition of Oaxaca 200-300s, it never changed. It's that things. When we born, my nephews born, my family born, my friends born, continue to the tradition to be mayordomo, bautism, married, all didn't change. It's hard to change. We have inside of the soul. So this is
Good luck.
then the
It's in your
blood
blood. It's in your blood.
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
didn't change. Believe me, it didn't change.
Another stuff they I believe they never gonna disappear the category. It's because there's so many brands and all the brands they make a good effort. All the brands try to make it a good mezcal. We have a CRM, which is the the organization or the how do you call this? The place where we certificate of mezcales. We tell you the truth. We tell you the safety that what you're gonna drink it. It's an organization that we make it for mezcal
Yeah,
for mezcalero. So that's why I believe in CRM making a good job. They keep the mezcal on the world. They keep in the process. They verify the process is real for all the brands, including my brand, of course, and other brands also. So that's why I see that there's so many brands and so many options that people can ask in mezcal for in any country. You find mezcal now every place that you go. Even you don't want to find los Javis for sure in all the world, but you're gonna find any other mezcals from Oaxaca and all mostly mezcal from Oaxaca that are handcrafted, most of them.
Mhm.
but
I mean, that's
other thing is the Consejo Regulador del Mezcal de CRM. Okay,
Uh-huh.
that is not all. Don't put all job to do. If you are mezcalero, you are palenquero, you need to follow the rules. It's the most important. Don't if they don't they say, oh, it's they don't watch it's going to be something easy. No, this is destroy your category. You need to follow the rules. You need to be how say that in English? Como honest. You
mhm,
need to be honest. Also, I'm here in the right to the customer. The customer is the customer are smart. Now they don't drink mezcal like before the people drink tequila, like, oh, I pour a shot and shoot. No, now enjoy, smell.
mhm.
If something is wrong, they detect that. Okay?
Yeah.
They say, oh, this is not good. Maybe, oh, it's bottle costs $100, but it's not good. I don't drink that. This is a smart customer. We have a lot. The now is the customer are educated, are interested. It's the reason listen, watching like this conversation because they are interested into the. It's not like, oh, I have a famous brand. The famous people drink that. I want to drink. No, now it's the change. The time change. I know this brand is. We have a brand for market for everybody, but it's the mezcal. I think the most market is for the people want to enjoy. It's not get drunk. It's enjoy. Maybe get drunk, but before enjoy that.
Maybe.
And
Not
But
when
enjoy.
sure.
wake when
But
wake up,
Mezcal doesn't
yeah,
get you drunk. Mezcal puts you.
make
It's a
magic.
magic drink. Magic
It's the
yeah.
drink.
slogan we have. El mezcal no te emborracha, te pone mágico. Like, yeah, maybe you go wasty. The other day you wake up like, okay, I'm fine. I'm no headache. I'm
You don't have a
this because
hangover.
it's
The mezcal doesn't get you any hangover. They get you
Yeah.
like normal stuff, but not like extremely hangover. And also mezcal,
Only
when you are
only
in
if
a
you
bad
mix it with
mood,
beer.
you're in a bad mood, you have a shot or sip of mezcal. You smell the mezcal, your mood change completely. At the first second you touch the mezcal, it change.
Yeah. Well, I want to give some time for folks to ask some questions. They can use the Q&A function. And I know there's a question from Fabiola who wants to kind of understand what the long-term vision is for Los Javis and Matatlan. Do you want more brands? I mean, would you want to see more brands owned by producers and kind of follow in your footsteps in the model that you did, or what do you think would be most beneficial for the growth of the category and the growth of Los Javis?
I see that's the question, Jaime.
okay. I think okay. We have our production. We have a plan for production. It have enough. Maybe other because when we marry with the brand, it's like marry. Okay, we want to do that because we can support like your ideas because I know it's hard to grow up the brands. It's not like okay, I sell to you the mezcal and forget it. I mean, no, I know this is because we understand what is the brand. It's a lot of job too. It's a lot of money, a lot of time. It's hard to be in the market. It's expensive. It's a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
It's too. So when we married with the brand, the other people have to dream to have a brand, because brand is a dream. You know, say, okay, no, it's this have, I don't call brand, I call dream. If we have in our plans enough to produce the mezcal, why not? Right?
No.
Because we
Oh,
don't,
I got a
we
question.
don't,
I didn't understand the question before. Yes, that's what Jaime says. We make it mezcal for life, for living. We have employees. We have so much agave.
this is a business.
We have a
Mhm.
big palenque or factory.
But
And Los Javis is one of our dreams that we want to, we wish to sell like 1,000,000 liters in the whole world, but it's impossible because we only take care of, I mean, we're not a big company. We are dreamers that we want to grow one day. But in the meantime, we need to support, we need to work, we need to make mezcal every day because we have people who working for us. And also, when all other brand owners or other dreamers came to us, they present their plans, and we take it because we know that we're able to make it what they want to it with a good
Mhm.
quality. And we don't take it any people who come to me, hey Javi, I have money and I want to make a mezcal, and tomorrow you want to be my producer. I say no, it doesn't work for me like that. When I want to make mezcal, I want to make it for people who really, really want to appreciate it and want to do the things right. And we're going to have a brand and going to make it the mezcal, and they're gonna put a good advertisement, and they're gonna help Oaxaca, and they're gonna give it and offer all the time the mezcal that I make it for them. It's not because they're gonna buy mezcal from me, and tomorrow it's gonna buy mezcal from other producer and gonna say, have you making my mezcal, which is not true. I'm only making one batch. I don't making other batches. You wanna be with me? I wanna follow your dreams, and you wanna. I'm gonna be like part of that brand, but without forgetting my own dreams, because we have a
Mhm.
dream.
Right.
And that's why I manage the production part, because Jaime is 100% on the advertisement, on the brand of Los Javis, 100%. And I have to be in the house making mezcal for other dreamers, because I already making mezcal. We already have mezcal in advance for my brand. So I have a time to help another brand, another dreamers, another brands. But also there's other brands. One day they're gonna leave me for sure. They're gonna go to another producer because barely one day I'm gonna grow up so much that I don't need it or something. They want to have their own distillery. I know that, so nothing is to keep
forever.
forever. But while I have them, while I'm working with them, I make it the best.
Yeah. We had a question about the color of the water in the fermentation tanks and why sometimes it looks darker than other
The
times.
fermentation tank is
Mhm.
no, is okay. When you cook the agave, they change the
Color,
white color to the brown color.
brown color.
Mhm.
It's when you cook the meat. You see,
Right.
cook agave is brown. So this is agave smash, but the agave that don't have juice like water, have juice like pulp,
Right.
like when it
Paste,
But
so
paste.
in some of the tanks, it's some of the tanks are darker in color than other tanks. And is
no,
there a
it's
reason?
because we mix when you toast when you mix uh get a the light brown when it's ¿cómo se dice cuando está sentado when it's done cuando no revuelves la tina when you don't toast
Before
the
you mix it,
fermented
Before
yeah
you,
before the mix.
it's dark
okay.
it's color like the agave you see the agave but abre un agave Javi puedes abrir un maguey
See,
you
por ejemplo,
inside
Right.
like here,
yeah it
this
is
part of the agave, here
it's almost black
dark.
right
It's
it's
dark.
so dark but
Oh,
open that
let me put them in a place where there's more light. When you open, hold
Are you
on.
gonna get the? Are you getting the machete?
the, the the sharp the
Inside, inside the agave is a little bit more white, more clear.
Mhm.
yeah
In
Okay.
some
so
part, like some of them, because when we roast it, we put in the hole in the pit, so we don't have the control of when you want to stop the roasted. So some pieces are more burn it than other pieces.
Mhm.
So that's why sometimes it changes
It's the
color.
reason she saw the dark, but when you toss, when you put the homogeneous,
If you mix it, the juice
your
with the water,
mixer,
Mhm.
change to, and the
It
agave
changes the
go
color.
up like that. Cuando es, te enseñan una tina que ya está esponjada, que es lo que quieren ver, que lo ve claro. Yeah, this is a, see, it's
light brown.
light brown, but it's rest, like when it's before, you
This one
see,
is
it's
before we
dark.
add the water. It's a little
It's
dark
dark.
before we add the
See?
water.
Got
It's all
it.
the taste.
Okay. So a great question from Roland is, Mezcal's popular. There are now hundreds of brands in the market. How do you make the Los Javis brand unique, or how does it stand out from the other brands in the market? And you can't fall back and say because it tastes better, because a lot of work goes into market in order to distinguish yourself from other brands. So how do you? I mean, Jaime, that's your job. How have you communicated to people as to why your brand is different, why your mezcal is
Because
different?
okay, why if I'm in the market, I say this, we have the control of the price because we own the agave. If we don't have this knowledge, if we see the agave's cost, sometimes we our cost of agave is low. Why? Because if we make more money, we sell agave, right?
Mhm.
Sometimes the market change, but ours sometimes this cover our price, but the balance is the quality. Quality is all the time the same. Doesn't matter if agave is high or is low price. Our quality is the same. Los Javis is different because I'm in the market. It's hard to one Oaxaqueño owner are in the world, like represent like before he have his own, like I want to deliver my own product to the bar and have the license and uh and believe in ordering. I didn't how I say that before didn't depends the other. We are independent, and this is was we put the good price here in United States, and we pay the in Los Javis have a fair price in Mexico. So it's not like other people make more money in the producer and the brand. It's like the money was gone to direct to Mexico. That is one thing is Los Javis different than other brands. Other is the presentation. Los Javis have his own. It's a square barrel. Is before is a few brands maybe now, but before nobody pay attention. And this one say, "Oh, I'm special. I don't have a huge that or whatever." This brand understand the bartenders. We understand the market, and we have the same maestro mezcalero in all agaves presentation, right? We have the same maestro mezcalero. We don't recollect agave, mezcal. We make mezcal, and Los Javis represent three generations of mezcaleros. Is in have the name. It's not like this is a real name, Los Javis, three generation of mezcaleros. And also, I think the quality, if you drink Los Javis, I think is for us. I'm drinking many mezcales. I love mezcal, but I enjoy my mezcal.
Well,
Right,
do you think
right
it makes
now.
a difference when you tell people that your brand is family owned, the producer owns it? Do people respond to that, differently and think, oh, wow, okay, that's really cool?
Well, because it's they feel like proof, like, oh, I'm so lucky to see the guys to make mezcal in front of me. You are the real guy to make mezcal. I say yes. I'm from Oaxaca. My family have a dream, have a brand. It's hard to be. It's hard to be like one day I'm in Arizona, other day in Chicago, whatever, and I'm the same people, right?
Right.
The other day you see me in Oaxaca drinking with I'm everywhere. I'm the same. I'm the same. And nothing changed.
100%.
Nothing changed the beginning and now. And now I understand is when grown up is more responsible, uh, it's more responsible to I know is I represent my family, and it's not like, oh, I in my other dream is I I hope the most brand come like us. Say, okay, my dad making mezcal now. I'm have the brand in around the world to represent my family, right? Because I'm from Oaxaca. It's a little, and I am a dreamer. Like other most brand come from a dreams.
Mhm.
As my brother me say, and it's not like say, oh, I'm different. This is no, I, and this mezcal is a in United States a new category. I think this is we need to all brands need to learn to don't say, oh, I'm the better than other ones. Yes, if this is my mezcal, drink this other mezcal, drink that other mezcal. Choose what you want. Choose your profile. This is the menu. This is the buffet.
Mhm.
Nothing. I think is we need to learn. It's nothing. It's not say, oh, I'm the better than other brand. We need to educate about that.
Wow. Well, I always, when people ask me, I always say mezcal in front of me.
Yeah, yeah, and
So,
everybody chose. Oh, I said for me, this is the my mezcal is the best. This is, I think every owner of the brand need to defend his brand. Say, hey, this is like it's my mezcal. I'm doing that, and yeah, and the customer need to choose what they want. Listen. And say, oh, I like this, or other day I like other one. Depends what is my humor, what is my, no,
mhm.
I don't know. It's like when you go to the buffet, don't eat the same thing all the time. But
It's
for
true.
us, yeah,
No, I was going to say, I remember one time when I was talking to a mezcalero in, well, I think it was Chichicapa. And, and he said, oh, I think my mezcal is really good, but I'll tell you, the best mezcal I ever had was from this guy who makes it once a year. He only makes like 100 liters. He's in the Mixteca, and we'll have to go sometime. And I always appreciate when you talk to other mezcaleros who are able to say something like that, where it's just like, yeah, of course my mezcal is great, but then also acknowledge. But I mean, it's something that I love about the mezcal community, and we see it at Mexico in a Bottle, when people, even with other brands, are so excited to try the different mezcal there, and
yeah,
to be able to share in other things.
yeah.
I want to give folks a chance to
Oh,
ask
it's
any last
mezcal.
questions
Oh, yeah, Javi.
before I know that we're running through time here. So I just want to say, if anybody in the audience has any questions, now's the time. You have a captive mezcalero in front of you, who's clearly used to working on his feet all the time because he's been walking around the palenque the entire time we've been talking. Um,
Yeah.
but any other questions from the audience here? Well, I mean, I just want to say it's such an honor to be able to talk to you guys, and to see your faces, because it has been far too long. And I so greatly appreciate your time, and your perspective in. Oh, here's a question. Where can you find Los Javis in Los Angeles?
It's easy to Bebo. We are in Ramirez Liquor in Los Angeles, I think, in Mission Liquors, in some Mission Liquors, and some season in Trader Joe's.
Mhm.
And you can find go to Google and so many liquor stores. It's sell online Los Javis.
Mhm. Yep. So yeah, it's Ramirez and Bevmo are probably your two
Yeah,
best
and
options.
Mission Liquor too.
Mission. Okay.
And yeah, when we are in Trader Joe's, it's hard because they buy every quarter of year buy like 4,000 cases and disappear in a month and wait for other because they share to all uh, location in California. It's more than 400 location, but boom, it's gone easier. So need to now with COVID is a little the store focus more on food and other essential thing and no alcohol. But after, we work we now we are, my team and I'm start working in more location in off premise or liquor store. But because we more our business was like 70% of the business was in bars and liquor store, and so in bars and restaurants. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. All right. Any other questions from the crowd? Right. Great. This is, as I said, this has been wonderful. It's been a wonderful perspective to hear and an important perspective to hear. For those of you who ever have follow-up questions for Los Javis, they are very responsive on Facebook and Instagram. So you can reach out to them that way or reach out to me. One final question. Are there any plans for a 200 milliliter bottle in the United States?
We released that one in about 5 to 6 weeks. That's what it takes for to be on the market. I'm pretty sure for 6 weeks at the most, you have a 200 milliliters presentation.
Excellent.
But the same frame of this, but in 200 milliliters.
It's same shape, but in small bottle.
I can't wait.
It's a
I can't wait.
Los packet Javitos.
No. All right. Well, again, thank you guys very much. For those of you still in the audience, I had mentioned at the beginning that we're going to be doing a talk on Thursday, Zoom talk and Facebook Live, discussing the issue of methanol levels and the regulations around that and the impact that that has on traditional mezcal production. We'll have Dr. Ivan Saldana and Eric Rodriguez on talking about that. It's kind of a special program that just came up Thursday, 5 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Pacific. And hopefully we can get one or both of you guys to join in as well, because I think it'll be an interesting conversation about it. So, all right. Thank you. I will send recordings out toward the end of the week. In the meantime, next week we will be talking with Sal Javis from La Luna Mezcal. Looking forward to talking about Michoacan, fermentation and cheese. So in addition to mezcal. So thank you all, and we shall talk later. Okay. Stay safe, stay healthy.
Thank you
very much, and thank you for doing this.
Thank you, Susan.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
Look forward to seeing you the next one.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.